The word on social media after the invite-only event last week was that DMZ was going to suck. And I mean to the point of like not even worth playing. It was compared heavily to the previous plunder game mode on Warzone and lacked an economy. Lacking economies for extraction shooter games just don't make sense. For what reason am I going to play that game mode? As a player, what's in it for me and why should I choose it? These are all questions that need to be asked. Not to mention that the DMZ mode has released in beta mode. The majority of the COD community took this as a way of saying it's shit, and this is Activision's way of not owning up to it. And it's not like Activision doesn't own up to shit. Right? Now, DMZ mode has been in production for years. And for those who don't know, it stands for Demilitarized Zone. I won't go into massive depth on exactly everything it is, as I've covered it in previous videos. But TLDR, imagine Warzone but with more contracts, extractables, PvE elements, and so forth. It's basically a really chilled out version of Warzone 2 with crazy XP gain. And I want to present my opinions if the game mode is worth playing, or does it in fact suck? And if you want to know more about Warzone 2 specifically, I dropped a video yesterday on if it's worth your time. Definitely check that out if you're interested. Now, despite the social media chaos, I think it's actually way better than expected. It feels fun, and we don't say that often in a lot of COD games anymore. That's an element of COD that I feel has been lost in translation for a while now. It's really chilled out. You can go onto this game mode with anyone, take out AIs, take over strongholds, and still run into the occasional real player. It's based on the same map as Warzone 2, Al Mazrah. Right now, you can only play in groups of 3, but there is a squad fill option that you'll see on the screen that you can toggle. And you can complete contracts which give you a ton of XP, tokens, unlockables, and more. There seems to be a faction progress bar alongside different factions where you can get more quests. Not sure what this means outside of XP and unlockables right now, but we'll see down the line. Before going into a game, you'll be able to select weapons and choose your loadout to take in. Keep in mind that if you die, anything that you take in game will be lost, and vice versa. Anything that you take from other players, including keys for black sites, weapons, cash, and more will go with you when you extract. This is typical in a PvP extraction shooter. I've picked up a medium backpack from a previous match so I can take an extra weapon into the game. This is good if my teammates may not be in a similar position. I can go into the game and drop my gun for my teammate to use. Movement is exactly the same in multiplayer and Warzone, with sliding being pointless and footsteps being very loud. Searching for games doesn't seem to take long, and I'm usually in a game within 30 seconds. Whilst in game, I found that I had lag spikes and ping issues at times. I reported this in my Warzone 2 video yesterday, most likely because of how new the game is. Also, this is likely due to the amount of people playing at one time around the world. Keep that in mind before playing DMZ or Warzone 2, especially in the early days. Aside these spikes, I found myself quite confused at the start, wondering what to do. I was running around into buildings, picking up and looting random stuff. I was expecting to use these to craft, but apparently it seems not. I think you just sell them to make money to buy shit with instead. If I'm honest, I don't really know. Or maybe I'm just being stupid. But after I started getting the hang of the game mode, I actually really enjoyed it. And as I said at the start, it's really simplistic in nature, and you can literally play it with anyone. But then I'd also say that it's complicated enough that there is a bit of depth and grind about it. It definitely needs way more of an economy to match games like Tarkov and such, but I hope that's to come. Or maybe they're happy with it being as plain as it is. Only the future updates will tell on this. When looking on the minimap, you'll see a ton of things highlighted, from exfils to contracts, weapon cases, supply drops, strongholds, and more. I found myself often running around in strongholds, which are territories that the AI hold. You kill these AI to get XP, neutralize the site, and get keys for black sites, which potentially have good loot. And let me warn you, these AI are not fucking around. They will shred your armor off and drop you as fast as a normal player, so don't take them lightly. You'll also find players trying to do the same objectives as you, so keep that in mind, as third party and happens a lot. Oh, and proximity chat. This feature, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, is the best thing they've ever added. We had an instance where we were trying to clear out a shopping centre and heard another team's communication. We started playing mind games to try and uncover these people to see where they were. Honestly, this adds for some seriously great interaction and content for the game. There's even options on the scroll wheel in-game to find teammates or request to join a team. Like, apparently you or an enemy can literally flip teams at an instance, which is an insanely cool mechanic. And I'm sure that's going to create some chaos in these lobbies. Whilst trying to extract, you'll find areas where you can call in choppers to get away. You have to wait a good 30 seconds from calling it in to getting on board. This then gives time for other players and enclosing AI to kill you and steal your shit. Sounds like another day in London, doesn't it? At the end of the game, the amount of XP you get is absolutely insane. I'm not sure if this is because they're enticing players to play it, but it blew my mind. DMZ might actually be the fastest way of leveling up right now if you care about that. And there is some form of gas that encloses in at the end, forcing players to extract, but I didn't get a chance to see this properly yet. And that's pretty much about everything. DMZ definitely needs a strong economy and ecosystem to thrive. I also think it could be way clearer on what to do for new players who haven't played it yet. I also think that after a while, killing mostly AI could get quite boring. But on the flip, the game mode is super chilled, very XP rewarding, and brings a different flavour to COD. And Extraction game mode isn't something we've seen integrated in Warzone till now. I think this game mode will only continue to grow and thrive as COD really figure out the direction for it. And as for the question, does it suck? If you're a hyper-competitive player, then Warzone will be better for you. But for everyone else, it's definitely worth a play. Give it a try and let me know what you think. And if you've already played it, also let me know what you think. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.